Interesting trends in the Indian market. Let's now focus on lab-grown diamonds. Is this a space that's set for big disruption? And if yes, what impact is it going to have on existing jewelry brands like Titan? What about the new incumbents or the new players coming into the market? Well, let's tell you what's the latest development first up. Trent has launched its new lab-grown diamond jewelry brand, Home. This marks a significant entry into the sustainable luxury market. In fact, Kotak Institutional is quite optimistic on POM. It says that this business has the potential to pioneer broad-based adoption of lab-grown diamond jewelry in India. So is this indeed going to be a big disruption? Yesterday, by the way, could be a coincidence. But anyway, as Trent was charging higher 8%, there was some pressure on Titan. We've got Abneesh Roy, ED of Nuvama Institutional Equities, as well as Pooja Sheth Madhavan, founder and MD of Limelight Lab-Grown Diamonds with us. Lady and gentlemen, thanks very much for joining in. Pooja, so let's start with understanding the basics of the market and how things are stacking up right now. In all our conversation with most of the listed jewelry companies, we do talk about how they're experimenting with lab-grown and what impact that's having on their natural diamond sales, whether it's solitaires or studded jewelry. You tell us, how big is the market now? What are the growth numbers that lab-grown diamonds have tracked? And what is the expectation? What do you expect in the segment?
Yeah, thanks for having me. And so in terms of the global growth, I think lab-grown diamond, diamond as an industry, United States stands as a benchmark to understand, what happens to the diamond industry, because the largest consumption of diamonds has happened in the US. And if you see the current trend in the US, 50% of sales are now lab-grown in the US. The lab-grown diamond market is a global $15 billion market. It's captured close to 20% of the global gems and jewelry, market share. And even in India, we are seeing, a 15 to 20% year-on-year growth in lab-grown diamonds consumption, in lab-grown diamonds acceptance. So I do believe that the next biggest consumption potential that exists for lab-grown diamonds after the United States is most certainly India.
But Pooja, so to expand on that point, you're saying the growth in India is 15 to 20%. The question is this at all, coming at the expense of natural diamonds, or is this incrementally growing the market? They're catering to a very different market segment, right? But I think the question that the stock market is beginning to ask is that whether there will be some cannibalization because of changing customer behavior and preferences, at least at the mass affluent level.
Most certainly, it's a combination. At this point in time, whilst we are seeing incremental demand, so in India, the data suggests that only less than 5% of Indian women have actually been able to afford or wear diamonds. The balance 95% has continuously aspired to wear diamonds but never gotten hold of them. So there's a combination of the 5% also today that is, sort of procuring lab-grown diamonds, particularly in the larger size solitaires. Somebody that already has a 1 carat solitaire aspired for a 2 carat, a 3 carat, or a 5 carat is now sort of looking at lab-grown as an opportunity. Plus, new Indian consumers that have always aspired for diamonds but never gotten hands on them are also sort of, increasingly moving towards lab-grown diamond as a segment.
Even that 5%, less than 5, okay. But 5 is also maybe too high. But it's less than 5, as Pooja said. Pooja and Abneesh, great to have both of you here. Abneesh, come in on this. What could be the total addressable market for lab-grown diamonds? Any way to put a number to it?
So in our view, this will expand the market, given now 3-4 players are entering this space in the organized. And definitely, whatever trend does, we take it very seriously. We have had a buy on trend for a long time, and we continue to maintain a buy. And definitely, now Trend, Senco, and Goldiam, etc., will expand the market. The issue with lab-grown diamond is last few years, because of so much of oversupply, the prices have crashed 70, 80, 90%. So customer has got a lot of doubt that, okay, this is cheap, but if I invest my money, what happens to it after 1 year? So I think price stability will be needed. Second is, if you see, Titan definitely offers buyback kind of a pricing to the diamond and studded customer, and of course to the gold. That gives a lot of trust factor. So my sense is it may not impact the core part of the marriage demand for Titan and other players. This will expand the market, but for Titan, some impact will be there on their daily wear in terms of the Mia, in terms of the Carrot Lane, and in terms of some of those businesses, there will be some impact. But still, my sense is the price stability and the buyback that will be needed. So my sense is this is more of a long haul. This will expand the market, but we are quite positive on trend. I think for them, this could be one more new vertical over a longer time frame.
Is price stability in lab-grown diamonds? Why is it important, Abneesh? I mean, if you're talking about sort of casual wear and fast fashion and those segments, right? Isn't it actually, doesn't it make it more attractive if prices come off very sharply?
So Indian customer, if you see, even for a 10 rupee pack, he always thinks whether this is something which I need to buy. The issue in jewelry is Indian customer comes with a mindset that, okay, I am buying it at say 100. And he has seen that last 5 years, the lab-grown diamond prices have come up by 70, 80, 90%. So that fear factor is there that, okay, can this further correct? So that leads to overhang. And that's why my sense is now with organized players like Trent entering, that will bring some level of comfort that, okay, this is an organized player. Plus, the oversupply needs to correct in the market. Huge oversupply is there in terms of the market. And that is an issue for the customer. He feels that, again, my money can again get impacted over the next 1 year, 2 year time frame. Because it is not small, right? It is much cheaper than the studded real diamond, but still there is an allocation, and Indian customer always has that in the back of the mind.
Clear. Thanks, Abneesh, for that. Just hang on. Let's go back to Pooja. Hi, Pooja. Good morning. Good to see you in. Nigel on this side. So, Abneesh mentioned about pricing a couple of times. I wanted a couple of basic details. What's the price difference currently between a lab-grown as well as the original diamond, so to call it, price difference? And also, is there price stability now? Because as Abneesh mentioned as well, the fear was in the last 1 year, suddenly the prices crashed 40, 50, 60, 70%. So pricing and price difference. Please go ahead.
Yeah, no, yes, a couple of things. One is that the price, fall that we speak about largely has been capped at 50%. Secondly, that has happened at the wholesale level and at the trade level, but not at the retail level. The retail level has seen price stability. I mean, Limelight as a retail brand, we have been existing in India for the last 5 years. We have 30 plus stores in the country, and we have, seen retail prices constantly stabilize, over the last 5 years. So what has happened is, and actually it has not been a combination of oversupply and less demand. It has in fact been rationalization of profits. So initially what happened is there were lesser players, lesser growers who were producing lab-grown diamonds in the market, and therefore naturally by the instincts of any industry, they priced the product at a very high price. So something that was selling at the costing at let's say $100 a carat was selling at $400 a carat. That as and when entrants started coming in, competition started coming in, that supernormal profits is what has resulted in the price decline. So the supernormal profits between 400 and 100 has now come down to a $120 per carat, selling price in the wholesale market compared to $100 cost. So the intention was that the supernormal profits were reducing rather than there being a lack of demand and oversupply situation. Yes, in the last 3-4 months, there has been, economic pressures on the US, which has sort of subdued the demand for diamonds in general. That's why we have seen a fall off in pricing of the natural diamonds also by 40% in the same breath. And we have seen, a decline in prices of lab-grown. But that's largely been rationalization of profits, which the trade was already prepared for. The retail level, there has always been stability. And going forward, we'll see further stability in the lab-grown diamond industry because the profits have now rationalized to a normal 20-50%.
All right, this is a discussion which I think we're only scratching the surface of, and we'll have both of you and others join in as well over the next many days and weeks. Abneesh and Pooja, thanks very much, both of you, for joining us and running us through your thoughts on what's happening here in the lab-grown diamond market, and of course implications for listed companies like Trent, Titan and others. Time for a quick commercial break here on the other side.